Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective. Welcome, collective. So I'm tuning into general energies. I'm not tuning into one person's specific energies. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Oh boy. Cuptastic. Cups and some swords and major arcana though. Wow. Wow. All right. So collective, take what resonates and leave the rest. If you are interested in a reading where I tune into your specific energies, you're very welcome to schedule a reading with me. The link to schedule a reading is in the description box below. So, all right, collective, let's get started on this very interesting reading. In the past, you were in the energy of the Fool, a new beginning. It's funny that for the past week, I'd say a week or so, the readings have been about closing cycles, so many cycles closing and a new beginning. So it looks like this new beginning, it looks like you've closed the door on something that didn't work, something that wasn't for you. And it feels like this trust, just trust that, packing lightly, just trusting that you have everything that you need. I feel like why you're having this new beginning is because you started releasing limiting beliefs, things that weren't correct. Beliefs about yourself, beliefs about your world, and you detached from those beliefs. It feels like you also detached from people and situations that no longer serve you. It feels like you were able to see toxic patterns about yourself in others, toxic ways that you were co-creating with others. Feels like a lot of shadow work and gaining consciousness. Whatever situation you were in the past was feels very personal. It feels close to home. It could be in your literal home, or it was in your literal home. Feels like whatever happened, whatever revelations that you came to, whatever new insights that you had, it shattered the illusions. I have this feeling that you thought that if I just keep working towards this end, I'll eventually find the happiness. It feels like you poured a lot of effort and work into creating something that didn't work. I'm getting that there were misaligned values. If at some point you and this person or these people had values that were similar, you or these people, this person, parted vibrations, your vibration shifted. So it feels like very painful to leave something that you put so much work and effort into. I'm getting a message that nothing is lost. The energy that you put into trying to create this is not lost. It's definitely a universal energetic. So you're not going to get this energy that you put into this person, this situation, these people. You're not going to get that energy back from them. I feel like that's the part of the limiting beliefs is I need to receive this from these avenues, this person. It doesn't seem that that's going to happen. but nothing has been lost. When you put energy out into the universe, it can be returned. Let's see what we'll keep going and see if that comes up. All right, collective, in present time, you are in 9 of Cups. Fulfillment of wishes. It does feel like right now is a time to receive, a time to be open to receiving blessings. Interesting. It's time to receive blessings, and yet there is this energy in your space. I'm getting that this could be someone else's energy, but I'm also, honestly, I'm feeling this in your energy. Maybe you are matching a restless energy thing, matching a restless energy, someone who's impulsive, no direction, a disregard for consequences. I feel like this energy is also very insecure, emotionally immature. Whatever this person, it could be 2 separate situations, and so 2 separate people. Feels somewhat related in the same area. It's interesting that it's tied to your fulfillment and wishes. Okay. Whether this is one person or 2, someone who's restless, impulsive, has no direction and disregard for consequences. So this is Knight of Swords in reverse. And then there's a Page of Cups in reverse as well. Someone who's emotionally immature, very insecure. I have the feeling for both these situations, it has created this feeling of failure and disappointment. It feels like things didn't turn out the way you expected them to with either of these people, or this can be one person. It feels like their energy could be, their energy so much in your space, it feels like you could also need to unmatch from their energy. There is a psychic tools video that I've done regarding unmatching. I probably unmatch every day, tons of times a day. Unmatching your energy from others. We tend, when we meet people, as we meet, as we focus in, as we talk to people, as we have a conversation, just like right now, as you're tuning into me, you're tuning in so you can understand what I'm saying, tuning in intuitively to a certain vibration. So that is a natural part of being human. Most humans, that tuning in. And so I consciously then unmatch and let go of other people's energies when I'm done with readings, definitely. Any matches, releasing these people and the situation's energy as well. So if that does sound like something that you are interested in, it's in my playlist under Psychic Tools. Okay, so with both of these situations, in regards to both of these situations, it is time to set up very clear boundaries, direct communication, be very clear, stay in your truth. I'm also getting that there's someone coming in at least one of these situations that feels like there's someone, a professional coming in. If you have a disagreement, maybe even a legal battle or some type of disagreement with this person or these people, there's someone that's going to come in and clear things up. I'm not sure if it does feel like with fulfillment of wishes that things go your way. Yes, so that the outcome of this is financial independence, self-sufficiency, fulfillment of your wishes. Something about this professional that comes in with the truth helps give you some stability, financial stability that you've been looking for. And I think why the fulfillment of wishes is coming in, even though this feels like it's around finances, truths, is that there's something very important about you switching from a mindset that things don't go my way, things never go my way, like some type of mindset like that. People always take advantage of me. I'm always, whatever that belief is, it's time to let that go. What would it feel like not trying to picture how it's going to happen, but just skip to an outcome where it all works out for you, for your financial benefit. How would that shift who you show up as and how you talk and how you think about yourself, how you talk about yourself, not in the ego, but if things go my way, if it's hard to pull one over on me, if people try me but then they don't get anywhere, how different would my day today be? How appreciative, just feeling, just imagining like things going your way. It feels like you might have been stuck in fighting this energy, like stuck in the fight of it, instead of trusting that whatever is going to happen is going to be to your highest and greatest good. Wow. Without being attached to, there's just so much nuances, but it feels like this is a wonderful opportunity for you to show how much you've changed since the past, when you had this new beginning, when you had this Fool card and stepped out on a new cycle. Feels like this is a great first stop for that new beginning, is realizing how much you have changed, how things do go your way. Not in an ego way, but in a way that you start understanding how to work with the universe, how to work with your own emotions and work with your own thoughts. Wow. All right. So a family pattern is Ace of Cups. Love begins. So a family pattern around new love. Wow, one of the clarifying cards is the Ace of Cups in reverse. All right. Family pattern. What I'm getting is there are people in your family. Family patterns deals with family of origin. It's kind of like when we can look at the blocks of the limiting beliefs that we created as children. It doesn't mean that you had a bad childhood. It just means that as children, you know, we create beliefs to deal with difficulties and hardships and perceptions. With that being said, I get the feeling that there's a lot of ego in your family of origin. People who really lacked confidence. Okay. Okay, love offerings, offers of love to someone with a conflated ego. Someone, it feels like what we're dealing with are people who have large egos, who are very, at the heart of things, really insecure. And I'm also it feels like these people bounce back and forth between these polarities. I don't want to say bipolar, but it does feel like someone who's really high on who they are, stuck in their ego. But really, they've just got so many blocked emotions, repressed emotions. There's an emptiness. There's it feels like they're kind of a facade. And it feels like they go from I'm the very best to maybe victim mentality. Ooh, I don't feel that this family dynamic can take responsibility. It feels like family patterns, by being in their ego, by how others perceive them being more important than the true real aspects. It's just such a facade. So if this is a family pattern, being empty, it does not feel like you, collective. It feels like you have been filling in and healing and creating more and more consciousness. Feels like you are taking responsibility. Feels like the family pattern is people can really manipulate. A family pattern is people can really manipulate the people in your family through their emotions. So success was very fleeting because it was always just a facade, or boy, it feels like just shallow connections. Oh, all right. A personal issue is solitude, going within, going within to find your answers. Ooh, okay. A family pattern has been depending on others to find your answers. You know, pooling your friends and communicating with others. What should I do? What does one do in this position? It feels like for a long time you were very dependent on others to help you decide what moves to make. It feels like you are releasing this. It's always nice, or occasionally it's nice to check in with friends and family, like people who you really trust. So, just to double check, am I seeing this situation accurately? Am I seeing this clearly? Is there something that I'm missing that you can help me with? I'm getting that you are releasing that need, like that curtain released. Just, I don't need anybody else's opinions anymore. I can find my own answers. I'm going to take responsibility for my words, my actions. And so it's not a matter of needing others to approve of the decisions that I'm making. I need to approve, because the buck stops here. I'm going to be receiving the karma from every choice that I make. So I need to make sure that this is correct for me. Your conscience is in the energy of patience. Your conscience, this card position, is what you would do if nobody was there to judge you. Patience. I get this feeling that you are waiting for people around you to notice how you've leveled up, that you're not the same person. You're not the same person you were last month. You're definitely not the same person you were last year. Boy, the last 5 years, very different energy. I feel like you are feeling very empowered, more and more empowered to step into a leadership role, to be an authority figure. You have learned lessons like how to protect yourself. You feels like you're very focused, very practical. You're waiting. It feels such a grounded energy. The patience is, feel like you are embodying this energy of the emperor, and you're waiting for those who think that they're still dealing with you of last year, you of 5 years ago. There's this pride and joy, like you're a very different person, and I mean that in the best way. Your desire right now is 7 of Swords, deception and envy, masked. Desires to become unmasked, to show yourself, show everybody who you really are, all parts of you. I get the feeling with this that whether you know this or not, that a lot of the difficulties, maybe people in your family or people close to you who have been deceptive, I don't think you realize that envy was behind their deception, that they wore a mask around you because they wanted to be you. They wanted, I get the feeling that you just being more you, you're becoming more blessed. You becoming more you and accepting yourself, your energy is better. Your day to day has a bit of an ease and a flow about it. The way you look at things are from a broader point of view. I get the feeling that even if things aren't going your way, you still have this mindset of working through it, being very honest about where you are. And that feels very different from this family pattern of pretense and egos and kind of this facade, empty kind of people. Maybe that's, maybe there's a part of you that recognizes, I was more like that. I was more empty. I was stuck in my ego a bit. Not as like a bad me, but I recognize that because that was how I was raised. So I'm unlearning those patterns. It looks like you are letting go of anybody who is, it feels like you've been doing this for a while, letting go of people who are no longer in alignment with your values. You are also releasing fantasies like delusions, anything that's confusing and delusional. It has to be real. Okay, your higher self, and in the center of this reading is Two of Cups. Spiritual union. Meeting of minds, like minds. Your higher self saying there's this reciprocity, seeing things equally. See who this is in regards to. These cards want to come out. There's been a situation in the past that, we talked about with the Fool card, with the new beginnings. There's an end of a cycle. There's a very painful ending that caused deep wounds, betrayal, loss. Before that happened, you were just stuck in an endless cycle without end, without completion. I get the feeling that this betrayal was very unexpected and hurt a lot more than you expected it to. Oh, okay. There is your higher self is saying that this was fated, that this needed to happen, that you had to see who this person was. There was an unwillingness. Maybe you were in fantasy and delusion and with someone and not closing out a cycle because you kept trying to make it work. But there was a painful ending that made it very clear that, wow, this is not what I thought this was. This is not who I thought this was. And how painful that is. What your higher self is saying, that all that needed to happen so you could get to where you are now, because there are, for some of you, there's new love. For some of you, it feels like soulmates like friendship soulmates. The people or person who's now coming into your life that you have done all this work to clear your path for, this is someone who's willing to put the work in to the relationship, to you. I mean, really willing. I think it would shock the bejesus out of you, because in this past relationship, there was a lot of lies and deception, and it just went on and on. And it feels like there was nobody really putting any effort or work or love. Someone's coming in and they're willing, they see your value, they see your worth. They're willing to work with you right where you are. If you are still hanging on to a past relationship that has been filled with deception and envy and betrayal, and has created such unhappiness for you, it feels like you had to let go of that relationship before something new would come in. This person coming in oh no, this isn't there. And this feels like your energy. You might be a little, it feels like, because you've been so betrayed in the past, that it's going to take a bit to soften you up. This person's going to come towards you with truthfulness and honesty and clarity when you're around them and talking with them. I feel like communication will be the first, like, oh, really honest, really clear about what they want too. I get the feeling that whoever this past connection was, that they were very wishy-washy. They didn't know what they wanted. They couldn't make any decisions. They didn't give anything to you. And it feels like this person's like an about face, someone very, very different than what you're used to. Someone who wants to be around you, to celebrate. Feels like you can be very good friends. Feels like you will enjoy being not just with them, but with other people in groups. And so you get to enjoy this person one-on-one, but also in a group situation, you see that they're the same person in all these different spaces. Maybe you realize that the person you were with in the past, that they were different when they were with just you. They were different when they were with maybe you and your family. They were different when they're around their family. They're different at work. They're different around friend groups. They're very different around in different scenarios. Maybe you were attracted to, that feels like your family pattern, someone who is just mirroring and showing up in their ego, and someone who's kind of empty inside, someone who doesn't really know who they are. So maybe you came from a family with ego issues, and you were attracted to someone who had these very similar energies. But now that you've turned your back on that relationship, then you're ready to have something new and something wonderful. Your challenge right now is trapped in fear. 8 of Swords. I get the feeling there's this fear that you're going to attract the same type of person from as the past person, the past connection. The thing is, I was talking about how your energy has shifted so much in just 1 month. Your vibration has shifted so much in the last year, the last 5 years. If you've been doing the work and if this resonates, I don't know how you would attract the same person. Always use your discernment, or the same type of person, the same type of cycles, the same type of energies. To me, it looks like you are in such a different vibration. It feels like there's this challenge to find your inner happiness, to not, it feels like this weird balance. Like, I want to be happy. I think what would make me happy is a loving relationship, a loving union, people who get me. But what's interesting is there's a need to figure out how to give those things to yourself, how to know you are worthy of love, to know you are love itself, that you are lovable, that you are a great friend, that you are joyful, that you are fun, that you are talented. It feels like an invitation to look in the mirror and tell yourself all the things that you've always wanted someone to say to you, and do it often. Whenever I get this suggestion coming up in a reading, every time I use the restroom and wash my hands, I spend those 20 seconds like looking myself in the eyeballs and telling myself, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are loving, you are caring. Anybody would be lucky to be with you. You're a joy, you're a light into the world. You're fun, you're funny, you're easygoing, you're caring. Just keep it going. Only tell yourself things that you believe. Don't say lies about yourself. And if those affirmations you don't agree with and could not feel that way about yourself, then maybe start somewhere easier. Affirmations don't work unless you believe them, because you can feel the truth, the lack of truth, when you're like, I'm a millionaire, I am so wealthy, I make tens of millions of dollars. Like, it's hard for me to even get it out, because I can feel my body going, we're not talking about you. So it's got to be something that you believe, that's already activated. And if you don't, start somewhere small, something that you do believe, and work your way. Because it doesn't mean that just because you don't believe it, that it's not true. It's just not activated in your space. And you have to have that activated in your space before others can see it. Others can feel it, can respond to that. So if you have spent your life, or if you're waiting, excuse me, if you're waiting for someone else to say it so you feel it, and especially if it's not activated in your space, then you're going to be waiting a long time. It's not, that energy is not activated in your space. There's a need to work on your inner joy, on filling your own cup, on being your own best friend, on talking to yourself like it matters, like you're a friend, like you're a cheerleader, like you're a wise teacher, like you're a parent, like you're a child, like embracing those aspects of who you are. All right, the lesson right now is hope. I'm getting to not be, no matter what I've discussed in this reading today, to not be attached to any outcome. The more attached you are to an outcome, the less likely it's going to take place. And to just keep your vibration as high as possible. A lot of times, if hope is difficult for me, if I'm in a place, then I do some Tong Lin practice, like some breathing in whatever is uncomfortable, and then giving away hope. And breathing in whatever is painful and fearful, and breathing out hope. Breathing in tense and dark and uncomfortable, and breathing out light and hope. Doing it first for yourself, and then I start breathing in like I'm part of the collective. And so I am breathing in all of the pain and discomfort that all of us in the collective are experiencing. And then I'm breathing out light and hope that people in the collective who might be experiencing this dense, dark energies, like sending out hope, sending hope that they can receive this energy. So first I do it for myself, and then I do it for others. You can do it for specific other people, or situations, or groups, or the whole collective. It's a beautiful practice. There are plenty of, if you want to see a YouTube video on how to do Tonglen, Tonglen, Tonglen. Pema Chodron has some wonderful videos on YouTube. You might be having difficulty sleeping at night. Yeah, it's around, I feel at night there's this extra pressure. If you're having difficulty sleeping, it feels like trying to control your sleep. Fears coming up, getting frustrated with being woken up. There's something about needing your sleep to be perfect. I need to get 8 hours of sleep. There's something about like maybe lightening up on and just believing no matter how much sleep I get, it's enough and I'll get through the day. Instead of, I only got such and such hours of sleep, that's not my 8 hours or whatever, and so I am going to be wrecked today. And then you are wrecked today. And you're like, see, it feels like there's something going on with your sleep that can be loosened up. And why it's coming up is it feels very important that you have a good night's sleep and trust in that space, heal in that space, let go of your thoughts that are keeping you up at night. If it's thoughts and worries that are keeping you up, meditation, mindfulness meditation, letting go of thoughts. When this happens to me, I realize that I can't not think. The thoughts are thinking me. I'm not choosing to think a thought. So with meditation, you sit there following your breath, and when a thought comes in, you just notice it as a thought. Like, that's a thought, but I don't have to think it. And it's not about getting it right 100% or stopping thoughts, because thoughts are going to come in. It's just realizing that is just a thought. And sometimes when I I realize I can barely go 2 breaths, maybe a half a breath, like an inhale, and I'm already gone, chasing a thoughts thinking me. That's information. So today I've got a lot of monkey mind. That's good information. So it's not about being perfect. All right, your advice right now is throat chakra. So throat chakra is right here, the energetic center around communication. What does the collective need to communicate? Feels like there have been just so many delays. Like this has taken a long time to get to where you are. And there's this inner critic that you have that's really close to like a self-doubt. I'm getting that this might be one of your parents was really critical, maybe both, maybe your whole family, very critical of you. And I'm getting that came from, they've got this very strong inner critic. Watch how you communicate to yourself. Again, this goes back to, yes, affirmations are wonderful, but are you poo-pooing yourself? Are you constantly telling yourself that you're not enough? I didn't do that right. I messed that up. I should have done that better. Are those helpful? Having an inner critic voice that's constantly nitpicking where you did something wrong. I've talked to people who are like, I don't agree that that's a bad thing. It's good that I have someone that'll constantly tell me where I'm messing up. I think the truth is wonderful, and sometimes even painful truths. But an inner critic is just constantly going at you. Nothing that you do is right. You don't look right. You don't sound right. What could you do better? I don't think that's helpful. I've never found that helpful. Now, a truth coming through, a communication of truth is like, ooh, yeah, I was very ungrounded and a bit out of control. But it's not, so that's a truth. That's difficult to take, could be difficult to take, but it's not this constant everything. So maybe a discernment between the truth, an uncomfortable truth, and being in a constant state of listening to your inner critic. Part of you, some of you, it might be difficult to let go of the inner critic because in a way, I'm getting definitely a mother energy, a very highly critical mother. And maybe you were constantly, that was the attention that you got, negative reinforcement. You didn't get love and affection from the mother energy. You got just constant criticism. And so you created a little version of them that, like a pocket size, that you carry with you the rest of your life. And so that might be also why you stand up for the inner critic, because it's at least attention. At least you got attention from your mom when she was constantly criticizing you. But there's a a time, it feels like it's time to let this go, let go of this inner critic, find a different way of being. So, all right, collective, this is your reading. I hope this was helpful. Take care. Bye.